session of social science. I am Kavita here to present and as well as to continue the next part from this lesson. As you know, we started a very interesting lesson in my first video, isn't it? That is Unit 4, Opposition to British Rule in Karnataka. In that, we discussed about so many topics from this lesson. So, the 18th century is considered the particular problems of Indian history because so many reasons were there, among them death of Aurangzeb. As a result, Mughal had lost most of his importance in South India, and in the same duration period, the competition started between Europeans because to control South India. Because the war also started between British versus French. Those wars we call Carnatic wars. And in the same 18th century is considered during that period death of Chikkadevaraj Vadiyar. As a result, because of his death, had created success and the failures of the Mysore kingdom, isn't it? So, in the same duration period, Hyder Ali gained a very popular in Karnataka region and as well as in South India. So, because he joined as an ordinary soldier in Dadwai team. So, just he joined as an ordinary soldier and later on he became very popular. That popularity was not tolerated by the British, Maratha and Hyderabad Nizam because a very short time, Hyder Ali are very popular in Karnataka region because British intention to extend their empire all over India. So this concept we studied in previous videos, in previous lessons, because eastern part of India was controlled by British through the many wars. Battle of Plassey, Battle of Buxar. Next target towards to extend their power all over India. So finally they captured Maratha region by the Anglo-Maratha wars and as well as Punjab region was also captured by British through the Anglo-Sikh wars. Next target, they wanted to capture Karnataka region. But in Karnataka, Hyder Ali and his son Tipu Sultan were the major obstacle for the British. Because Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan were the strongest persons in the Karnataka region. So, ಅವರಿಬ್ಬರು ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಇರೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯನ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಡ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So then that the war also started between Hyder Ali versus British. Those wars we call Anglo-Mysore wars. In first video we discussed about first Anglo-Mysore war and as well as second Anglo-Mysore war. During the second Anglo-Mysore war, Hyder Ali was dying. That war was continued by his son Tipu Sultan. Yes, in today's session we are going to learn on these main topics. Those are about Tipu Sultan, third Anglo-Mysore war, fourth Anglo-Mysore war, Dhodia war, and the end of Dhodia war, and as well as rebellion of Tiptur in that Queen Chennamma and as well as Sangoli Rani. So these are the topics we are going to learn in today's session. Yes, let's start our class with the Tipu Sultan. Who is he? Tipu Sultan. I think you have heard in every time Tipu Sultan, isn't it? Yes, as I told, during the second Anglo-Mysore war, Hyder Ali was died. That war was continued by his son Tipu Sultan. It means Tipu Sultan was the son of Hyder Ali. So Tipu Sultan it was very popular in the Mysore kingdom, and it means he knows everything about British. So Tipu Sultan. So Tipu Sultan felt the British were the major obstacle for his esteemed Mysore kingdom empire. Just Tipu Sultan known and everything about British, their convenience, their policy, their strategy. Just Tipu Sultan felt he decided to send them to their country. ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಏನ್ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಟ್ ಎನಿ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ ಅವರ ಭಾರತ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತಮ್ಮ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೇಕನ್ನೋದೇ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಅವ್ರ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹಿ ಫೆಲ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ವಾಸ್ ದ ಮೇಜರ್ ಆಬ್ಸ್ಟಾಕಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ extension. Just he decided to send them to their country. Just he take up challenges. So that because Tipu Sultan was observing all the activities of the British, whatever they were doing along with the along with the Indian rulers. So Tipu Sultan just he made an organization with the ruler kingdoms, with the local rulers who were enmity with the British. Tipu Sultan ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೆ ವಿರೋಧಿಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರವರ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಶತ್ರುವಿನ ಶತ್ರು ನಮಗೇನಾಗ್ತಿರಲಿ ಮಿತ್ರ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಹಂಗೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಯಾರ್ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಎನಿಮಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಒಂದು ಅಲಯನ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್ their convenience, their policy, their strategies, all the activities of the British. So that just he made up an alliance with the local rulers who were enemies for the British. Just for example, French. So French ಕೂಡ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ವಿರುದ್ಧರಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಟಿಪ್ಪುಗೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರೆ ಮಿತ್ರಗಳಾಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶತ್ರುವಿನ ಶತ್ರು ನಮಗೇನಾಗ್ತೀವಿ ಮಿತ್ರ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. The same here, whoever enemies for British, the Tipu Sultan tried to make an alliance with the local rulers along with the French. So this is about Tipu Sultan. Next to move on, another important topic from this lesson, that is Third Anglo-Mysore War. As we study First Anglo-Mysore War and as well as Second Anglo-Mysore War in the first video, today we are with the next another important wars from this lesson, that is Third Anglo-Mysore War and as well as Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. Yes, let us discuss about Third Anglo-Mysore War. Then what was the reason for Third Anglo-Mysore War? Between whom did the war take? Yes, let us discuss about Third Anglo-Mysore War. Of course, Third Anglo-Mysore War is between Tipu Sultan versus British. The main cause for Third Anglo-Mysore War, that is Talwalpur. So Talwalpur was the main cause for Third Anglo-Mysore War. Then how Talwalpur was the main cause for Third Anglo-Mysore War? Yes, Talwalpur king had built a fort in Kochi with the help of British. Basically, Talwalpur ರಾಜ ಯಾರ ಒಂದು ಮಿತ್ರ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಮಿತ್ರ ಆಗಿರ್ತಾನೆ. So with the help of the British, Talwalpur king had built fort in Kochi with the help of the British. So that it was the main cause for Third Anglo-Mysore War. And later, British captured Ayakota and Kanganur from the Dutch. The British captured Ayakota and Kanganur. So next here, the British captured Karwar, Coimbatore and Dindigar under the leadership of Madras. British captured Karwar, Coimbatore, Dindigar under the leadership of Madras. The later on, Tipu Sultan had entered Barmahal and captured Satyamangalam. Here, these three places were captured by British Army. It means Madras. Madras captured these three places. Those are Karwar, Coimbatore, Dindigar. When British had gained ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾನೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವಾಗ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಹರ್ಮಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸತ್ಯಮಂಗಲಂ ಇವೆರಡು ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾರೆ. ದ ಲೇಟರ್ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ tried to attempt to capture ತಿರುಚನಾಪಳ್ಳಿ. ಈ ತಿರುಚನಾಪಳ್ಳಿನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಂತೇಳಿ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಫೇಲ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್. ಬಟ್ ತಿರುಚನಾಪಳ್ಳಿ ಅವನವನು ಫೇಲ್ಯೂರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಲೇಟರ್ ಆನ್ the Lord Cornwallis entered in Third Anglo-Mysore War. He changed the direction of Third Anglo-Mysore War. It means under the leadership of Lord Cornwallis, he changed the entire direction of the war. Then who took the leadership of Third Anglo-Mysore War? That is Lord Cornwallis. When Lord Cornwallis had entered in Third Anglo-Mysore War, he changed the entire direction of Third Anglo-Mysore War. Then later on, the British army captured Kolar, Hosakote. British army captured Kolar and Hosakote. Next target towards the Bangalore fort. British ಒಂದೊಂದೇ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾನೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. The later on, the British army captured Kolar, Hosakote. The next target towards the capture of Bangalore region. It means Bangalore fort completely it was destroyed by the British army. Here, British army ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಕೋಲಾರ ಮತ್ತು ಹೊಸಕೋಟೆನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. The next target towards the capture of Bangalore fort. It means Bangalore fort it was the honor of Tipu Sultan. So that Bangalore fort it was completely destroyed by the British army. By the successful of these three places, British army and Lord Cornwallis they got confidence about the war. By the capture of Bangalore region, the British solved the problems between Nizam of Hyderabad and Marathas. Basically, the first Anglo-Mysore War we studied. Before starting of first Anglo-Mysore War, British had an alliance with the Maratha kingdom and as well as Nizam of Hyderabad. But later on, by the offering of money, Hyder Ali just split their team. In that, Nizam of Hyderabad and as well as Maratha kingdom had become neutral in the first Anglo-Mysore War. The later on, Lord Cornwallis sought out the problems of the Maratha kingdom and as well as Hyderabad Nizam. The later on, the three combined army got together. ಯಾವಾಗ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಮರಾಠ ಮತ್ತು ನಿಜಾಮರ ನಡುವೆ ಇರುವ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ಲಿ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು later on they got together. The Maratha kingdom they captured so many places of the whichever places were under Hyder Ali. They captured Savanur, Gajendragada and Hubli. These three places were captured by Marathas. So all three combined armies got together. By the combining army, British they got confidence about the war. The later on, three combined armies in the sense British army, Hyderabad Nizam army and as well as Maratha army. These three combined army attacked on Srirangapatna fort at night in the year 1792. In the year 1792, three combined armies in the sense British army, Nizam of Hyderabad army and as well as Maratha army. Three combined armies were attacked on Srirangapatna fort in the year 1792 at night. All these developments, Tipu Sultan was unable to face competition from the British, Marathas and Nizams. Because in every step, as we studied now, in every step who gained a very upper hand in Third Anglo-Mysore War? Of course, British. When three combined armies got together, that Tipu Sultan was unable to face competition from the British. So that because at night, night time, 3 combined armies ಶ್ರೀರಂಗಪಟ್ಟಣ ಕೋಟೆಯನ್ನು ಮುತ್ತಿಗೆ ಹಾಕಿದ ಮೇಲೆ is it possible to defeat from the Tipu Sultan? It's never. Highly impossible. At night, ರಾತ್ರಿ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೊರಡಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಆಗಲ್ಲ. Because of all these developments, Tipu Sultan tried to an agreement with the British. It means Third Anglo-Mysore War ended with the Treaty of Srirangapatna in the year 1792. In the year 1792, why did Tipu Sultan had an agreement with the British? Because of in every step he or they who gained very upper hand in Third Anglo-Mysore War? Of course, British. Because of when Lord Cornwallis had entered Third Anglo-Mysore War, he changed the entire direction of Third Anglo-Mysore War. So that because of all these developments, Tipu Sultan had an alliance, had an agreement with the British. That treaty we call Treaty of Srirangapatna. It means Third Anglo-Mysore War ended with the Treaty of Srirangapatna in the year 1792. Here, British had applied unfavorable conditions for Tipu Sultan. It completely inhumanity conditions for Tipu Sultan. ಅಮಾನವೀಯ ಹಾಗೂ ತುಂಬಾ ಕಷ್ಟಕರ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್, ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಶ್ರೀರಂಗಪಟ್ಟಣ ಟ್ರೀಟಿ, Tipu Sultan had lost most of his kingdom. He paid 3 crores because for war, and as well as most, just as I told now, Srirangapatna treaty condition, unfavorable conditions. Why did I tell? ಅದನ್ನ ಅನ್ಫೇವರೇಬಲ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ದೆ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಹೇಳಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಪ್ಲೇಡ್ ಇಸ್ 2 ಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಕಂಪನಿ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ತನ್ನ 2 ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಒತ್ತೆಯಾಳಾಗಿ ಇಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವಿಲ್ಲಿ unfavorable conditions for Tipu Sultan. Okay, he lost his kingdom, he paid 3 crores, whatever it may be conditions, okay. But Tipu Sultan had pledged his 2 sons for the company. That's we call Treaty of Srirangapatna, unfavorable conditions for Tipu Sultan. So, this is the concept we studied Third Anglo-Mysore War. Next move on, another important war, that is Fourth Anglo-Mysore War. As we studied in the Third Anglo-Mysore War, what was going on and what in between British and Tipu Sultan. We discussed the Third Anglo-Mysore War. As a result, Tipu Sultan taken his personal challenges because he was insulted by the British. Because British applied unfavorable conditions for Tipu Sultan. Because as a result of the Treaty of Srirangapatna, Tipu Sultan had lost most of his kingdom, most of his wealth. He paid 3 crores and moreover, unfavorable condition. As I told now, unfavorable conditions for Tipu Sultan. It means Tipu Sultan had pledged his 2 children to the company. That was unfavorable condition for the Tipu. In Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, before starting the Fourth Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu Sultan, he paid all the dues and he released his children from the company and taken as a personal challenges for war. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಆಂಗ್ಲೋ ಮೈಸೂರು ವಾರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಾದಂತ ಒಂದು ಘಟನೆಗಳನ್ನ ತನ್ನ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ಘಟನೆಗಳಂತೇಳಿ ಅದನ್ನ ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಿ ತನ್ನ 2 ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಕೊಡಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕೂಡ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಓವರ್, just Tipu Sultan asked whichever places were belongs to the Malabar region, that but it was rejected by the British. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಲಬಾರ್ ರೀಜನ್ಗೆ ಭೌಗೋಳಿಕವಾಗಿ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಡುವಂತ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳು ನನಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಲಬಾರ್ ರೀಸನ್ಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಡುವಂತ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಇದಾವೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಡುವಂತ ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳನ್ನ ನನಗೆ ಬಿಟ್ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಯಾರನ್ನ ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ? ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ. ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್. And later on, one of the Governor General was arrived to India. It's none other than Lord Wellesley. So Lord Wellesley was arrived to India as the Governor General of India in the year 1798. As children, we studied this concept in the previous lessons, isn't it? The second lesson, while I was teaching, that is the extension of the British rule in India. So, Lord Wellesley arrived to India as the Governor General of India in the year 1798. Just Lord Wellesley introduced very cunning policies on the Indian rulers. Which one? Yes, subsidiary alliance. The subsidiary alliance was introduced by Lord Wellesley. Here, Lord Wellesley was observing all the political activities of the Tipu Sultan. So, Lord Wellesley, he came as a Governor General of India. When he came as a Governor General of India, just he was observing all the political activities of the Tipu Sultan. Because as I told now, Tipu Sultan is just taken up a challenge. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತನ್ನ ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕವಾಗಿ ಪರಿಗಣಿಸ್ತಾನೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಜಸ್ಟ್ he was going on and Lord Wellesley was observing all the political activities of the Tipu Sultan. Then what he did? Lord Wellesley ಎಲ್ಲಾ ರೀತಿಯಾದ ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೋದು? What he did? Yes, Tipu Sultan made up an alliance with the local rulers. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುವಂತಹ ರಾಜರ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಸಹಾಯ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಓವರ್ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ a very close relationship with the French. It was not tolerated by the British. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಜರ ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದು ಓಕೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಕಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ was very close relationship with the French. ಮತ್ತೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ನಡುವೆ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಸಂಬಂಧ? ಎಸ್, ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ were enemy European countries in India, because as we studied in the first lesson, because their intention to establishment of their power in India. So that war started between French and Tipu Sultan. We call Carnatic Wars. As I told in third Anglo-Mysore War, ಶತ್ರುವಿನ ಶತ್ರು ನಮಗೇನಾಗ್ಲಿ ಮಿತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. ಹಂಗೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಚರು ಯಾರನ್ನ ಕಂಡ್ರೆ ವಿರೋಧಿಸ್ತಾರೆ? ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ ಕಂಡ್ರೆ ವಿರೋಧಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಂಗೆ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಯಾರನ್ನ ಕಂಡ್ರೆ ವಿರೋಧ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ? ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ ಕಂಡ್ರೆ ವಿರೋಧ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಹಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಮತ್ತು ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾರೆ? ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ when Tipu Sultan had sent an ambassador to the French, it was not tolerated by the British, especially Lord Wellesley. Because Lord Wellesley arrived in India as a governor, just he was observing all the political activities of the Tipu Sultan. Just Tipu Sultan made up an alliance with the local rulers, and moreover, Tipu Sultan was very close person with the French. It was not tolerated by the British, because when Tipu Sultan had sent an ambassador to the French to ask help for the fourth Anglo-Mysore War, it was not tolerated by the British. And later on, another treaty conditions and inhuman and impartial condition was applied on Tipu Sultan, but it was rejected by the Tipu Sultan. This was the main reason for fourth Anglo-Mysore War. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಫೋರ್ತ್ Anglo-Mysore War ಆಗಕ್ಕೆ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಕಾರಣಗಳಿವೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಫ್ರೆಂಚರ್ ಮತ್ತು ಟಿಪ್ಪು ನಡುವೆ ಒಂದು ಸಂಬಂಧ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿ, ಅವನು ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಒಂದು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಲಿ, ಈ ತರ ಕಾರಣಗಳು ಬರ್ತವೆ. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ವೆಲ್ಲೆಸ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಮಾನವೀಯ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಮೇಲೆ ಹೇರ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಟಿಪ್ಪುನ ರಿಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದೇ ಫೋರ್ತ್ Anglo-Mysore War ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ಫೋರ್ತ್ Anglo-Mysore War started in the year 1799. While during the battle, Tipu Sultan was died. During the battle, Tipu Sultan was died, and because he was struggled a lot for the Mysore kingdom, but later on during the fourth Anglo-Mysore War, Tipu was died, and the British finally they were successful to extend their power all over India. They were very happily to control all over India. After death of Tipu Sultan, British was successful to control all over India with the help of the Marathas and Nizam of Hyderabad. Yes, Nizam ಮತ್ತು ಮರಾಠ ಒಂದು ಸಹಾಯದಿಂದ ಮೈಸೂರು ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಯಾರ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ಒಂದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಮೋರ್ ಓವರ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ವಾಸ್ ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಟು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ all over India after death of Tipu Sultan. And the later on, the British entire Mysore kingdom, entire Mysore areas were divided into 4 parts, which are places were under the Tipu Sultan Hyder Ali. Those places were captured by the British. The entirely here, most of the places and Tipu Sultan was shared among the British, Marathas and Hyderabad Nizam. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಟಿಪ್ಪುವಿನ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವಿಷ್ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರ ನಡುವೆ ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್, ಮರಾಠಾಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ನಿಜಾಮ್. ಸೊ ವಿಚ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ವರ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್, ದೋಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ವರ್ ಶೇರ್ಡ್ ಅಮಾಂಗ್ ದ 3 persons, British, Marathas and Hyderabad Nizam. And the later on, again Mysore kingdom hand over to the representative person, that is Mysore Vadaigas. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟಿಪ್ಪುವಿನ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ ಅವೆಷ್ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರ ನಡುವೆ ಶೇರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು, ಮರಾಠ ಮತ್ತು ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ನಿಜಾಮ್. ಅಂಡ್ ಲೇಟರ್ ಆನ್ ಮೈಸೂರು ಕಿಂಗ್ಡಮ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಟು ದ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಒಡೆಯರ್ಸ್. ಮತ್ತೆ ಮೈಸೂರು ಸಂಸ್ಥಾನ ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾರ ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಹೋಗ್ತೀವಿ ಮೈಸೂರು ಒಡೆಯರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಓವರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 4th Anglo-Mysore War. Next move on, next concept from this lesson, that is Dondiya War. Then what is the Dondiya War and why it started in Karnataka? Then who is Dondiya War? Yes, these are all the concept. Let us discuss now. Yes, after end of the 4th Anglo-Mysore War, when it ended in Karnataka in the year 1799, the many rebellions and protests against the British in the Karnataka region after death of Tipu Sultan. So Tipu Sultan, he was son of Hyder Ali. So after death of Tipu Sultan, many rebellions and protests were against the British in the Karnataka region after death of Tipu Sultan, or else after end of the 4th Anglo-Mysore War. And when the 4th Anglo-Mysore War ended in Karnataka region in the year 1799. So after death of the Tipu Sultan, many rebellions took place in the Karnataka region. So most of the rebellions were protests started in Karnataka the early part of the 19th century. Among them, rebellion of Dondiya was an important rebellion in Karnataka state. Then who is Dondiya? Dondiya, he was a name of the person, was a very brave soldier of Karnataka region. This Dondiya was born in the Maratha family of Channagiri. He was called Wagh. Wagh in a sense what? Tiger. Because due to his bravery. Dondiya, he was born in the Maratha family of Channagiri. He was called as Wagh. The Wagh in a sense what? Tiger. Why did he call Wagh? Because his bravery. And he started his career as a cavalry soldier in Hyder Ali's army, and later on he started his position very popular in the Hyder Ali team. Then later on he built his own private and fought along with the Tipu Sultan, and due to the more differentials with the Tipu Sultan, and Tipu Sultan sent him to imprisoned. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಧೋಂಡೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯ ಸೈನಿಕನಾಗಿ ಹೈದರ್ ಅಲಿ ಆರ್ಮಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಕ್ಯಾವಲರಿ ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಕುದುರೆ ಸವಾರನಾಗಿ ಅವನು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂತಾನೆ. And he started his career as a cavalry soldier in the Hyder Ali army, and moreover he became very popular and gave more importance in Hyder Ali team. And later on he built his own private army and fought along with the Tipu Sultan. And later on, due to differentiations with the Tipu Sultan, sent him to imprison. And on jaili kalistane. And later on, the British released him after death of Tipu Sultan. ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಒಂದು ಮರಣದ ನಂತರ 4th Anglo-Mysore ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯನ್ನ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಹಿ ಬಿಲ್ಟ್ ಅ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ್ ಅವನನ್ನ ಜೈಲಿಂದ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತನ್ನದಾದ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಹಿ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ ದ ಆರ್ಮಿ ವಿತ್ ಅನ್ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್. ಸೊ ಯಾವಾಗ ಅವನ ಜೈಲಿಂದ ಬಿಡುಗಡೆ ಆಗಿ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಟಿಪ್ಪು ಸುಲ್ತಾನ್ ಆರ್ಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಅವನ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಆಗಿ ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅನ್ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ ಸೋಲ್ಜರ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಮಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರನ್ನ ತನ್ನ ಕಡೆ ತಗೊಂತಾನೆ. ಯಾರು ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ. ಸೊ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ಮೇಡ್ ಅನ್ ಅಲೈನ್ಸ್, ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ಮೇಡ್ ಅನ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ whoever unhappy soldiers with the Tippu Sultan. And the later on, few federated rulers who had lost power, and Dhondia captured Bidunuru and Shumuga forts. And later on, he captured Chitradurga fort. These are all the activities were observed by the Lord Wellesley. ಯಾವಾಗ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ತುಂಬಾ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, he captured Bidunuru and as well as Shumuga, and later on he captured Chitradurga fort. These are all the activities were captured by Lord Wellesley. Here, when Dhondia became very popular in the Karnataka region, so Lord Wellesley was observing this rebellion. He decided whichever places were under Dhondia, those places were captured by the British Army. Then whichever places were under Dhondia? Look at here, Shumuga, Honnali, Harihar. These three places were under Dhondia. But these three places were captured by British Army. And Dhondia had lost his base after the capture of Shikaripura, because Shikaripura was the most important military base for the Dhondia. So, ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾನ ಒಂದು ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗೆ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ವೆಲ್ಲೆಸ್ಲಿ ಗಂಭೀರವಾಗಿ ಪರಿಗಣಿಸ್ತಾನಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುವಂತ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಗಳನ್ನ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ವೆಲ್ಲೆಸ್ಲಿ ಆರ್ಮಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾನೆ. And moreover, Dhondia had lost the most politically base after the capture of Shikaripura. ಯಾವಾಗ ಶಿಕಾರಿಪುರ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ಒಂದು ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಾನ ಕಳ್ಕೊತಾ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ರ್ಯಾನ್ ಅವೇ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಗುತ್ತಿ. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ಶಿಕಾರಿಪುರ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ರ್ಯಾನ್ ಟುವರ್ಡ್ಸ್ ದ ಗುತ್ತಿ. ಅಂಡ್ ಗುತ್ತಿ ಮೋರ್ ಓವರ್ ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ರಿಸರ್ವ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಆಫ್ ದೀಸ್ ತ್ರೀ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ ಈ ಮೂರು ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಯಾರು ಒಂದು ಅಂಡರ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ, ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾನ ಅಂಡರ್ ಇರ್ತವೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? When Dhondia became very popular in the Karnataka region, it was absorbed by the Lord Wellesley. So that British army captured these three places, which are under Dhondia: Shumuga, Honnali, and Harihar. And the moreover, Dhondia had lost the most politically base in the Shikaripura when Shikaripura was captured by the British army. ಯಾವಾಗ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ ಅವರು ಶಿಕಾರಿಪುರವನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ, ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ತನ್ನ ಸ್ಥಾನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. And next he ran towards the Gutti, and which was under control of Nizam of Hyderabad. And ಶಿಕಾರಿಪುರ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಓಡೋಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಗುತ್ತಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. Then Gutti was under the Nizam of Hyderabad. And later on, when Nizam of Hyderabad attacked on Gutti, and Dhondia had to run towards the region of Maratha. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಿಜಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಗುತ್ತಿ ಕಡೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾನ ಒಂದು ಯಾರು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರಲಿ, ನಿಜಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಅಂಡ್ he reached Maratha. Then later on the Maratha army attacked him and captured most of these horse, camels and arms. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಗುತ್ತಿ ಕಡೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ, ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾರು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ನಿಜಾಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೈದರಾಬಾದ್ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ he reached Maratha. Maratha ರೀಚ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ Maratha army also has captured whichever the most important military bases. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯುದ್ಧಕ್ಕೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಡೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಶಸ್ತ್ರಾಸ್ತ್ರಗಳನ್ನ ಮರಾಠ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. The Marathas captured most of his horse, camels and arms. So he continued his warfare. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಅವ್ರು ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. And later on, many unhappy ಪಾಳೆಗಾರಸ್ were supported to Dhondia. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾಗೆ ಯಾರೇ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅತೃಪ್ತ ಪಾಳೆಗಾರರು ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಫ್ರೆಂಚ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಮಾಯಾ ಆಫ್ ಮಲಬಾರ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಎಸ್ಟೇನ್ ದಿ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಟು ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಇಷ್ಟು ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂಡ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾ ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ದಂಗೆನ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. And later, most of the unhappy Palekaras were given support for Dhondia. And moreover, French also had given support for Dhondia. It was not ordered by the British, and later on British army followed him. The vast area included. And ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾನ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಹರಿಹರ, ಚಿತ್ರದುರ್ಗ, ಶಿಕಾರಿಪುರ, ರಾಣೆಬೆನ್ನೂರು ಅಂಡ್ ಕಿತ್ತೂರು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ when French had given support to Dhondia, when unhappy Palekaras was also given support to India, just he continued his rebellion against the British. So that British army had followed him as a long away. ತುಂಬಾ ಅವನು ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯವರೆಗೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಎಲ್ಲೇ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ಗೆ ಅವನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹರಿಹರ, ಚಿತ್ರದುರ್ಗ, ಶಿಕಾರಿಪುರ ಅಂಡ್ ರಾಣೆಬೆನ್ನೂರು, ಕಿತ್ತೂರು ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೇವೆ. The later on, the British took over the Shirahatti and killed many rebellions to followers of Dhondia. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶಿರಹಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ರೀಚ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಧೋಂಡಿಯಾನ ಒಂದು ಫಾಲೋವರ್ಸ್ ಅವ್ರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಸಾಯಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. The many followers of Dhondia was killed by British army. So this is the concept how Dhondia started his rebellion against the British. It was the most important rebellion in Karnataka. ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಾನ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕೂಡ ಅವನು ತನ್ನ ಒಂದು ನಡೆಯನ್ನ ಬಿಡ್ತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ತನ್ನ ಪ್ಲೇಸಸ್ ಕಳ್ಕೊಂತ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ. One of the most important rebellion in Karnataka against the British. And the next concept, end of Dhondia. When Dhondia had gained very popular, he became very strong in the Karnataka region. It was most effect for the British. So that Lord Wellesley decided to end of the adventure of Dhondia walk in Karnataka region, and the British had requested the local rulers. Dhondia had recaptured Shikaripura fort, and again he was captured by the British army. Because when Dhondia had gained very popular in Karnataka, ಯಾವಾಗ ತುಂಬಾ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲರ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ, ಇದನ್ನ ಯಾರಿಗೂ ಸಹಿಸಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅಡ್ಡಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ತನ್ನ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ಒಂದು ಸಾಮ್ರಾಜ್ಯ ನೀತಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಅಡ್ಡಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಲಾರ್ಡ್ ವೆಲ್ಲೆಸ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸೈಡೆಡ್ ಟು ಹಿಮ್ ದ ಡೆಸ್ಟ್ರಾಯ್ಡ್ decided to end of the adventure of Dhondia walk. So that Lord Wellesley had requested help from the local rulers, and Dhondia had recaptured Shikaripura fort, and as well as it was scattered by the British army again. The British tried to defeat the army of Dhondia walk, which used to move in the area between Tungabhadra and Malaprabha. ತುಂಗಭದ್ರಾ ಮತ್ತು ಮಲಪ್ರಭಾ ನದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಶಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ದ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ he was followed by them when he left Raichur. When Dhondia left from the Raichur, it was followed by the British army. When he was caught in the between the Maratha army and Nizama army, again the British captured Dhondia. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಶಸ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಮಲಬಾರ್ ಮತ್ತು ತುಂಗಭದ್ರಾ ಮತ್ತು ಮಲಪ್ರಭಾ ನದಿಯ ದಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಶ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. And later on, he left from the Raichur. When he left from the Raichur, it was followed by the British army. And later on, again he recaptured by the Nizam of Hyderabad and Marathas. And later on, unable to face competition from the British, and Dhondia was killed by the British army. This is the concept end of the Dhondia walk. Next move on, another important rebellion in Karnataka, that is rebellion of Kittur. Then what was the reason for the rebellion against the British, and why the people of Kittur to against the British? As before that, the British brought many changes in their administration after the defeating of Maratha, Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan. They introduced so many policies on the Indian kingdom. As I told in the previous concept, in 4th Anglo-Mysore War, British were very happy to control all over India. So they brought many changes in their administration. They introduced many policies. Among them, doctrine of lapsy was most cunning policy was introduced by British. According to that policy, no adaptation. So here, then why rebellion of Kittur was started in Kittur? Why the people of Kittur rebelled against the British? Now before going that, Kittur situated between Dharwad and Belgaum. Kittur is situated between Dharwad and Belgaum after death of Malla Sarja. After death Malla Sarja, he was the ruler of Kittur. So after death of Malla Sarja, his son became the ruler of Kittur. It is none other than Shivalinga Rudra Sarja. The Malla Sarja, it means Malla Sarja, he was the ruler of Kittur. It means Malla Sarja wife, Queen Chennamma. So after death of Malla Sarja, who became the ruler of Kittur? It is none other than his son Shivalinga Rudra Sarja. Shivalinga Rudra, because of Shivalinga Rudra Sarja was suffering from health. Due to his health, Queen Chennamma had activated in the Kittur administration day to day. And later on, Shivalinga Rudra Sarja had given help for the British in the Maratha War. As a result, the British entered an agreement at Kittur and collected payment from him. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶಿವಲಿಂಗ ರುದ್ರ ಸರ್ಜಾ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರಿಗೆ ಸಹಾಯ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ವಾರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ? ಮರಾಠರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ. ಅದ್ರ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಿತ್ತೂರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಯಾರು ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ? ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. And later on they started to collect payment from him. This agreement was started during the administration of Thomas Munro. Yes, before rebellion of Kittur, just let me introduce the concept. Basically, Kittur was situated in Dharwad and Belgaum. So Malla Sarja, the ruler of Kittur, and after death of Malla Sarja, who became the ruler of Kittur? It is none other than his son Shivalinga Rudra Sarja. Malla Sarja, Queen Chennamma. Because of his health, who became the activated administration? Chennamma. So Queen Chennamma had activated herself in the administration of Kittur in day to day because of his health. But Shivalinga Rudra Sarja had given support for the British in the Maratha War. As a result, British entered in the Kittur and they started to collect payment from him during whose period? Thomas Munro. ಈ ಒಂದು ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಯಾರು ಒಂದು ಪಿಡಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ? ಥಾಮಸ್ ಮಂಡ್ರೋ ಪಿಡಲ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Again, after death of Shivalinga Rudra Sarja, Chennamma adopted a boy. His name Shivalingappa. Yes. So Malla Sarja ಮತ್ತು ರಾಣಿ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮನಿಗೆ ಇರೋದು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಮಗ, ಅದ್ಯಾರು? ಶಿವಲಿಂಗ ರುದ್ರ ಸರ್ಜಾ. ಅವರ ಒಂದು ಸಾವಿದ ನಂತರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರೂ ರಾಜರ ಆಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ರಾಜರ ಆಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಿತ್ತೂರು ಯಾರ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ಅಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಬಹುದು ಅಂತ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಒಂದು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ adopted a child, his name Shivalinga. But according to policy, what they were saying? No adaptation. According to Lord Wellesley policy, no adaptation. When Chennamma adopted a child, Shivalingappa, they started to ruling Kitturu. So, ಅವಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಶಿವಲಿಂಗಪ್ಪ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ಲಿ ಶಿವಲಿಂಗಪ್ಪ ಆಸ್ ಅ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ ಒಬ್ಬ ಸಣ್ಣ ಮಗು ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿಹಾಫ್ ಆಫ್ ಹಿಮ್ Chennamma had started to rule in Kitturu. Then Thakre. So then Thakre basically he was a collector and political agent of the British in Dharwad. When Chennamma adopted a child, his name Shivalingappa. So initially he was a child, so that in behalf of him, Queen Chennamma had started to rule in Kitturu. When she adopted a child, that news heard by the Thakre. Thakre basically he was a collector and political agent of the British in Dharwad. Then what he done? So Thakre he sent report the government of Bombay and attempt to take over the Kittur in the under policy of doctrine of lapse. When Chennamma adopted a child, Shivalingappa, Thakre had given report for the government of Bombay. In his report that they started to take over administration ಅಂಡರ್ ದ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಆಫ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿನ್ ಆಫ್ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಸಿ. ಆ ಥಾಕ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ರಾಣಿ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ ದತ್ತುಪುತ್ರ ಹಕ್ಕಿಲ್ಲ ಎಂಬ ನೀತಿ ವಿರುದ್ಧವಾಗಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. ಆ ಒಂದು ಕಿತ್ತೂರು ಸಂಸ್ಥಾನ ನೀವು ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಥಾಕ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಯಾರಿಗೆ? ಗವರ್ನಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಾಂಬೆ. The later on, he attempted to take over the treasury and fort under his control. The later on, Thackeray attempted to control entire the Kitturu treasury and entire the administration in his control. And Channamma considered as war personally. She prepared for the war, and basically the British also prepared themselves for the war. The war started between Channamma and British. Later on, Thackeray was killed at the spot situation. Many British were taken as the prisoners of war. On war alli Thackeray spot alli ಸತ್ತೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. And later on, British attacked on Kitturu. Again and again, the British attacked on Kitturu under the leadership of Lieutenant Dick. So, the entire Thackeray was he was killed by the followers of Channamma. ಅಲ್ಲೇನು ವಾರ್ ನಡೆಯೋ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮನ ಅನುಯಾಯಿಗಳಿಂದ ಯಾರು ಸಾಯ್ದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ? ಥಾಕ್ರೆ ಸಾಯ್ತಾನೆ. ದ ಲೇಟರ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ಕಿತ್ತೂರು again and again under the leadership of Lieutenant Dick, and the army fought the battle as very clever, very brave, attempted to flee from the battlefield, but she was captured by the British army at Bailhongal Fort. So Queen Channamma was again she captured by the British army at Bailhongal Fort and her followers, and Queen Channamma passed away in the prison. And in the present history of India and history of Karnataka, Channamma's name had remembered in Karnataka history. This is Queen Channamma fought against British in her own way. Because for Channamma fought against, because for doctrine of lapse. Why Channamma fought against British? Because for she adopted a child. His name Shivalingappa. According to Paul's what they were saying, no adaptation. ಯಾಕೆ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಡ್ತಾಳೆ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ, because for she adopted a child. So that it was an against for doctrine of lapse, so that Channamma had fought against British. This is the concept about rebellion of Kitturu and brave Queen Channamma. Next move on, another concept. This is the last concept in today's session. That is Sangoli Rayana. Have you heard the name of Sangoli Rayana? Who is he? I think you would have heard it every time whenever we come across the news and all. So Sangoli Rayana was a famous person in the Belgaum region. So the name of Sangoli Rayana has remained along with the queen of Channamma at Kitturu. And Rayana was a brave soldier, and he fought for the independence of Kitturu because for his motherland. He fought against the British because for his motherland and because for Queen Channamma. Because Sangoli Rayana was very famous along with the Queen Channamma. His duty to independence of Kitturu, so that he fought against British. And there are many oral historians about Rayana, like ballads, Lavanids. So the many oral stories are there about Sangoli Rayana. So he developed a sense of nationalism and is made a secret organization to defeat to fought against British. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತಾ ಬರ್ತಾನೆ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲಿ ಈಸ್ ಮೇಡ್ ಅನ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಟು ಫೈಟ್ ಅಗೇನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರದೇಶಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತನ್ನದೇ ಆದ ಒಂದು ಆರ್ಮಿನ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ವೀನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ ವಾಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪ್ಚರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಆರ್ಮಿ. ಅವಳನ್ನ ಜೈಲಿಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ ಬೈಲ್ಹೊಂಗಲದಲ್ಲಿ. ಅವಳನ್ನ ಬಿಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ರಾಯಣ್ಣ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ತನ್ನದೇ ಆದಂತ ಒಂದು ಸೈನ್ಯನ ಕಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ಜಿಯೋಗ್ರಫಿಕಲಿ ಮೇಡ್ ಅಪ್ ಆರ್ಗನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಟು ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ. Because of Sangoli Rayana was very famous along with her, so that his duty to protect Kitturu and as well as to protect for Chennamma, so that he made an organized in the geographical areas. And later British thought that the Rayana were being by the Rani Chennamma. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾಣಿ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮನ ಕುಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಿನಿಂದ ರಾಯಣ್ಣ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಹೋರಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವ್ರು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಆಸ್ ಅ ರಿಸಲ್ಟ್, ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಶಿಫ್ಟೆಡ್ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಬಹಿಲೊಂಗಲ್ ಟು ಕೋಸಂಕಲ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾಣಿ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮನ ಕುಮ್ಮಕ್ಕಿನಿಂದ ಸಂಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ರಾಯಣ್ಣ ನಮಗೆ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಆಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಅವ್ರು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾಣಿ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮನ ಬಹಿಲೊಂಗಲದಿಂದ ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಶಿಫ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. So, why British officer shifted Queen Chennamma from Bailongol to Kosangal? Because the British officer thought the Rayana incited by the Rani Chennamma. So that Queen Chennamma had shifted from Bailongol to Kosangal. And the British observed all the politically activities of Sangoli Rayana. They decided to dethrone him. ಹೇಗಾದ್ರೂ ಅವನು ಸರಿ ಹಿಡಿದು ಗಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಏರಿಸಬೇಕಂತ ಡಿಸೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಅಂಡ್ ಲೇಟರ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಹೂವೆವರ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ರಾಣಿ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ದೇಸಾಯಿಗಳು ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ರಾಣಿ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ ವಿರುದ್ಧ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಸಹಾಯನ ಪಡೆದ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು ಕನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಅದ ಮೋಸದಿಂದ ಸಂಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ರಾಯಣ್ಣನ ಅದೇನೋ ವಶಪಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಹೂವೆವರ್ ಅಪೋಸಿಂಗ್ ಕ್ವೀನ್ ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮ, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಚೆನ್ನಮ್ಮನ ವಿರೋಧಿಸ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಸಹಾಯನ ಪಡೆದವರಲ್ಲಿ ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷರು. ದ ಲೇಟರ್ ಅನ್ಎವಿಡೇಬಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೆರಿ ಕನ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಸಂಗೊಳ್ಳಿ ರಾಯಣ್ಣ ವಾಸ್ surrendered by the British army and as well as his followers were surrendered by the British army. At now present till now and today, Sangolli Rayanna name as very mesmerized and memorable in the Karnataka history and Indian history and overall history. So, by this concept, today we have completed the most important second part session of Unit 4, Opposition to British rule in Karnataka. And the remaining topics we will study in the next session. Till then, keep watching video. Thank you and have a nice day.